Hey guys, TecTimmy here. So if you bought or are thinking about buying an iPad off of TikTok Shop and or TikTok Shop options, this video is for you because I am going to be breaking down 5 different ways in terms of whether or not you can actually tell if your TikTok Shop iPad is legit or a fake. Let's get into the video.
Oh boy, it's TecTimmy time.
All right, so I'm going to take it out of the box real quick. I had already taken it out and powered it on, but I wanted to show you the box that it came in, which led me to be a little suspicious in terms of whether or not this was legit. So there was no inner Apple box for starters, but it did come with this sort of pick list. It is refurbished, which would make sense that you wouldn't necessarily have an Apple box, but the thing does look actually really looks like pristine. That is actually the first check. We basically want to make sure that the hardware itself looks legit. So we have the Apple logo, the slightly raised Apple logo on the back. We have our iPad, and then designed by Apple in California, and the model number. This is A27, assembled in China, and then the serial numbers on the back. I'm going to show you an easier way to get the serial number off of it in a second here. And the next thing we want to do is, of course, we want to power it up. All right, so in terms of the overall, so powered on, so that's encouraging. And then in terms of the overall gut and sort of hardware check, I would say just grab your favorite, lightning cable. Mine did not come with one. So you're going to need a standard Apple lightning cable, USB-C to lightning, and plug that in and just make sure it's holding a charge or taking a charge. 92%, and it is charging. So also encouraging, great standard Apple cable. That's good news. And then we have also, with this my refurbished model here, we have a setup screen. So we're presented with the setup screen, which is cool. This is an iPad 8th gen. The quick backstory here is that I bought this on TikTok Shop auctions for about $50. I think it's probably worth 4 times that. Different prices on TikTok Shop versus auctions in terms of what you get, of course. But so far, I'm encouraged, but I really did want to. I haven't done these steps yet myself. I'm going to go ahead and complete the setup process. I'll fast forward through that whole bit, and then we'll actually get into the real checks that you can do inside. Okay, now for me, the fact that this took my Apple ID during the setup process is also another good verification step that you can try. If you we're not presented with the setup screen and so forth, you can actually try logging into your Apple ID as another way to confirm that it's legit. But these are Apple's actual terms and conditions. So all this is looking super encouraging. I'm going to say agree to that. It found me, that's my Apple ID photo, through my Apple ID. So that is another great verification step. All right, and welcome to iPad indeed. All right, guys, so the first thing that we want to try is we want to make sure that the serial number is actually a legit serial number that's registered with Apple. So to do that, is what we want to do is I'll just show you. Go into your settings icon here, and right at the top of settings you're going to see about. So you want to click on that, or tap on it I should say, and then here you'll see your serial number there. So if you long tap on it, it'll give you the ability to copy it. So you want to hit copy. Now I'm going to open up Safari, or whatever the word browser, Safari, and I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to type in the address bar. I already did it, check coverage at apple.com. I'm going to click on that, tap on it. And then what we want to do is we want to paste our serial number in this field here, paste, and this will let you know if the iPad is actually registered as a device with Apple. And in this case, this is, so that's very cool. So that is a really good check to do. And so this is, as I said before, I have the iPad 8th generation. This is the Wi-Fi only model, so that meaning it doesn't have cellular. And then of course coverage expired in 2022 because this is an older refurbished iPad. So that bit makes sense. And now it's probably a good time to say that if you're really concerned about if you think that you have a fake iPad, I will go through all of these checks. So watch to the end of the video so that you get basically the full picture in terms of what's happening. Some of these things can be spoofed by really clever fake iPad. So the other thing to try here is I want to go to my App Store, right? So I'm going to go here and then search. I'm just going to search on App Store. So we want this to be the legit Apple App Store. If it's an Android device, you might be directed to Google Play, for instance, or the Google Play Store, or any other store other than the Apple App Store. Just going to click on that. Welcome to the App Store, encouraging. I'm going to say continue here. Probably going to have me sign in. And there we go. So allow while using the app. And so look and feel here looks legit. I'm just going to go up to the top here. Apps. So these are my apps. So CoolFly is a smart bird feeder. I just did a video on my channel. So just checking that out. Is an app that I downloaded recently. These are my latest and greatest apps, so that is a good third check to try. Although I'm not going to declare victory quite yet. We have 2 more checks to go. The next one is Siri. So I'm going to go down where it says Siri and search here, and we're going to see, is Siri on? Press home for Siri is off. Listen for is also off. I want to enable that, and I like to use Hey Siri. So I'm going to say enable Siri here, and Siri is specific to Apple. So if you hear Siri's voice, then you know that you have, well, it's a good clue that you have a legit iPad. Hey Siri, what's the weather today?
I can't tell your location because of your settings. Where would you like to hear the weather for?
Boston, Massachusetts.
It's currently clear in Massachusetts.
Right, all right, so that, thank you Siri, go away. All right, so that is my boy Siri there, and that is legit. That's the Siri voice, and that is also another good clue. And last but not least is just overall performance. So Apple iPads are smooth, and they just work well, and they're not laggy. So just scrolling around here, this, even for an 8th generation iPad, it seems super zippy. I'm super encouraged by this. It's super impressive. In fact, let me just tool around here. Let me get back into Safari here. Watch how fast it opens. That's instant, right? And then here, and there's my YouTube channel on the iPad. How cool is that? Yeah, so fast performance, you basically want to be able to, you want your apps, settings, and so forth, everything to open instantly and with a tab. This one, actually the performance, I'm super impressed by this, particularly like I said, where it's an 8th generation, able to configure my widgets and all that good stuff. I know it has my photos. I am going to declare victory on this iPad and say that it is 100% legit and not fake. So there you have it, guys. That is how you tell if you have a legitimate iPad as opposed to a fake Android knockoff or any other type of fake iPad. But if you're interested in picking up an iPad or some accessories for your iPad, I'll leave some links down below. If it's on TikTok, I'll leave a link over to TikTok Shop, and if it's on YouTube, I'll leave some links over to Amazon. Hope this video helped you guys. If it did, please wouldn't mind smashing that like button, and I do all sorts of iOS videos, including iPhone and iPad, as well as all manner of tech reviews. So please subscribe for a fun take on tech. YouTube thinks you might like one of these videos I'm going to put up on screen over here, and hope to see you next time. Ciao.